What's going on, guys, and welcome back to DSG. And in this episode, we're just going to quickly recap what happened during the June dev talk. The first half of this video is just going to be quick recap, not going to go into any opinions or anything like that, just straight up what's happening. And the second half of the video will be my thoughts and opinions on what happened during the dev talk. So hopefully I catch everything. If I didn't, my apologies, but this is kind of, I took notes, I rewatched it, took notes right as I was rewatching it, so hopefully I got pretty much everything down. So first things first is the Summoner Showdown, which is a new PvP mode and estimated to possibly be around, guessing, Q3 or early Q4 when this will launch. You are limited to tentatively 30 tunes to use. 5 will have a bonus feature or modifier. This will be a season reward system similar to the leaderboards that we're seeing. There will be milestone rewards, and compared to the current PvP mode that we have, it's supposed to have actually really good rewards that people are supposed to strive towards, kind of like leaderboards. It's not intended to be a daily game mode, as it will be a limited time event. So again, like leaderboards, it's not going to be an everyday thing. You're going to see it probably every week or so, like just how we see them today. Tunes will be removed from usability once used. So pretty much kind of like raids, once you use one tune, you can't use them again unless you're running like a tier 4 raid or tier 5 raid, for instance, where once that refresh happens, you can use them again. If you're used to heroics, once you're done using those tunes, you're done using them, but you can use them again by using gems and having a refresh system, just like how we do elite battle attempts. So there is a possibility for that as well. There is going to be an equalizer mechanic to equal the playing field, and from what Meathead and Jake were saying, it's supposed to be certain requirements have to be met. But for instance, if you had a tier 3 Simba and someone has a tier 8 Simba, there'll be some type of equalization where, I don't know if they're going to drop the tier 8 down to tier 3, or if they're going to bring the tier 3 up to tier 8. There's going to be some type of equalization system so that it's more equal playing field and that you can use more of your roster than what we're used to seeing in the meta in the normal PvP mode. So that's going to be the Summoner Showdown. Number 2, major overhaul in the user interface. I'm guessing this is coming around mid to late Q3, and just for like a disclaimer, these timelines are just my kind of guess. There's no official release date except for one of the topics here, which we'll get into. For the UI overhaul, and I'll show some pictures on the screen. They're going to be doing a lot. There's going to be a character selection screen overhaul, which looks, I mean, it already looks fine right now, but they're going to do more improvements on them. There's going to be a battlefield layout, so what we're using like in the PvPs, we're going to upgrade those graphics as well. There's going to be an upgrading tunes mechanic video. I'm guessing this is going to be for when you gear a tune up to maybe gear tier 8 or 7, or when you upgrade a character to 7 stars. There's going to be some type of gameplay or video type of mechanic built in, where it's just kind of like shows a little snip of what your character looks like. I'm not explaining this well, but that's kind of what they were talking about during the event, or during the talk. So just a huge overhaul in terms of the user interface. Number 3 here, there's going to be a PvE mode called Club Expedition. I'm estimating this is probably going to be more of a Q4, and I'm talking like late Q4, kind of like November, December, before they kind of shut down, is my guess for the Club Expedition. If not, could possibly look at Q1, in my honest opinion. They have a very vague explanation on this, but they basically kind of wink wink nudge nudge that this is going to be the Club Dungeon 2.0 that they were talking about before, so look forward to that. The concept art looks pretty cool, and it almost has some like Club Conquest mechanics in terms of the tower systems that they use, from what it looks like. But anyways, that's what we're going to be looking at in the near future. There's going to be a Club Conquest overhaul, which actually is going to be launching in 2 weeks, they say. So at the time of watching this video, it could be in today for Wednesday's patch notes, or it could be for tomorrow's next week's patch notes, and could launch maybe in the next week or so. If not, it might get pushed out maybe closer to July 4th. I'm not sure, but at least from when the dev talk did happen, they did say it was going to be coming within the next 2 weeks, so that's something good to look at. Raid number 2, or Raid 2.0 as I called it as well, confirmed without saying it was her They also confirmed that pretty much Zeus is going to be the raid character. I could be wrong of that, of course, but pretty much they confirmed that it's going to be a Herc raid, or at least a Hercules theme raid. There is going to be some new game mechanics. Clubs actually will be able to choose phases that they want to attack. So maybe, you know, if you're not very good at Glut and you're only good at phase 4 of Ursula, you'll be able to do that. There's going to be new mechanics coming into this, and there's going to be returning mechanics that people may or may not like. And also you can run raids, both the raids, the Forbidden Depths raid and probably Mount of Olympus raid. I have no clue what they're going to call it, but that's going to be it for the raids. So pretty much that's it, guys. Literally, like I said, just going to tell you guys exactly what's coming in, recaps, and that's pretty much it. Next, this second half of the video, I'm just going to talk about kind of my thoughts and my opinions on what's coming in the near future. All right, so for the Summoner Showdown, I do like the concept of it. It's going to be, you know, kind of different, of course. I'm interested to see how the equalizer mechanics gonna actually work. I'm gonna be also interested to see if they did discuss how that is gonna be kind of, they're gonna be not nerfing, but they're gonna make you go against the grain and kind of use different characters. And basically the way the selection system works, they're gonna kind of pre-select or some sort of fashion like that, kind of ban, I think, characters, for instance, or you can't use Herc, for instance. I think that's kind of what they were curtailing towards for this showdown, so you can use more of your roster. And I do kind of like this kind of a Pokemon type of idea where, you know, I have my roster, but once they're, you know, they're KO'd, I can't use them. Let's get them to Nurse Joy and they can, you know, revive your Pokemon a little bit. So kind of the same thing. But of course, you have a lot more tunes versus Pokeballs that you can use on the battlefield. Season reward system is nothing new, so if it gives us better rewards, is all I care about, and if it helps me progress faster, that's all I care about. So really happy to see anything bonus come towards us. Major UI overhaul. I'm excited for this. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, the stuff they showed was freaking awesome, and of course I'm just gonna keep rotating the pictures here, but it looks really good, and I was really surprised by it, how good it looks. So definitely good job to the art team, and they do a great job already. So very happy to see what they can do with this stuff. I don't think it's necessary, but man, if they want to do it, by all means, bring it over, because they looked really nice. I mean, that is one thing about DSA and the glue team. I mean, this game looks nice by itself, right, it is right now, but with these new overhauls in terms of the UI and graphics and stuff, gonna look even better. And just very happy to see that they really care about the game in that sense. And things are starting to get a little bit better, though. Wreck-It Ralph, you know, would be nice if they were in the Grand Campaign chest, for instance. But I digress. I understand that maybe not for now. They're going to wait till after the first run probably to put him in. Next thing here is the PvE mode. Club Expedition. Pretty much, you know, it's Club Dungeon 2.0. What can you say? Just bring it on in, you know. Yeah, make something more than Club Dungeon. You know, if they get rid of Club Dungeon, I don't know if I would be sad or anything like that, because not much, you know, to talk about that. But if they can do Club Expedition and it's something better, that'd be great. Kind of something I wish I talked about also was, you know, Towers of Endurance, if they were to add more, bring more spells to the game, but you know, that's just me. Number 4 here, Club Conquest, the overhaul, coming 2 weeks. I'm happy about it. I believe this brings in a 2v2 mechanic not 2v2, 1v1 mechanic, so it'll make people in the clubs kind of actually take it more seriously, because you only have one, you know, team you're going against, and hopefully with Club Conquest, they obviously make the rewards like 1,000 times better, actually make it your worthwhile. Because you think about it, you do like 3 raids in a week compared to the 1 time a week event of Club Conquest, which lasts for like 4 days, sometimes 5 days, whatever the case may be, and you're just kind of sitting there, and it's kind of like, I'm doing what? I'm like putting effort for this long for how much type of deal. And you have to like really have a beefy roster to be really effective in Club Conquest, really help out your club, for instance. So all I'm saying is, they got to do something, and hopefully the overhaul in 2 weeks is what we've been wanting and looking for, especially if it goes to 1v1. That'd be great. And lastly here, the Herc Raid 2.0, I'm guessing coming July 2021. It would make sense. You know, they can't have gear tier 8.5 for that long before, you know, people are like, come on, let's get this going, let's get gear tier 9 going. So Raid 2.0 coming in probably in July of 2021. Probably gonna be Club Conquest towards the beginning of July or even end of June, and then probably looking towards end of July for Raid 2.0. So I'm kind of surprised about the clubs being able to choose a phase. I think that's a definitely unique mechanic that I was not prepared to hear about, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. But you know, it sounds good, so I'm probably gonna like it, because if you can, but it sounds like a club chooses which phase they want to do. You got to remember, if you finish that phase and you still have maybe an easier phase to go towards, but you kind of lost your best teams that could take care of that easy phase, that easy phase could become more difficult than it normally would be. So you got to keep that in mind as well. But overall, I think the club phase selection is kind of cool, because I don't know, is it going to be like the club leaders choose this phase and you can't move on to the next phase till you finish that phase, or can you choose which phase you want to go for? Doesn't matter if it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, just kidding, but you know what I mean. You know, does the club have to finish, like, do the club leaders have to choose one phase and then they have to finish it all, or do the club members just kind of, hey, I want to take, you know, phase 3, do my little damage here that I'm really good at, my club that my roster's kind of curtailed towards, and then, you know, all you guys take care of this phase and whatnot. So who knows, you might be assigned, okay, you're going to take care of phase 2, blah blah blah. So it's going to be a unique type of thing, and maybe there'll be actually specific people going after specific phases, and in a really more organized way than we have it right now. Next thing here is new mechanics and returning mechanics. Obviously the phase selection for the clubs, that's a new mechanic. Returning mechanics, they said that they're probably things people aren't going to like, such as the insta-death, but you know, it is what it is, and they have to make you level up characters somehow, and that's one way, then that's one way. And I mean, this wasn't a surprise to me, but because like Swaga has it, EA has control over them now, so obviously probably gonna have similar mechanics as Swaga. So different raid tickets, and most likely, I think, because that's kind of how the raid tickets look like anyways right now. They look specifically for the Forbidden Depths, so I'm pretty sure that the Herc raid's gonna have their own tickets, and you can run them concurrently, which I think is not a shock to anyone, maybe to some people. But yeah, guys, just a quick recap of what I liked, what I didn't like, except actually I think I pretty much liked everything about this. Anyways, that's gonna be it. If you guys liked it, definitely share it with your friends, and share it with your club mates who may have missed it. Of course, the first part, very cut and dry, straight to the point. Second part, kind of going into more of my thoughts and my opinions on it. But as you can see, I'm pretty excited for everything here. Nothing is like generally like makes me like angry or anything like that, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Check the links down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.